Today I wanted to talk about why God looks at the heart of people rather than the appearance, of people or the actions of people. And the reason being is because the words and actions and decisions of people always comes from the heart. That's why God deals with the heart first rather than just dealing with anything else, right? That's why He always attends to the heart first and focuses on it. Now, an example of this is in Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9. And it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" Now, it's saying here that the natural state of the heart is to always be deceitful, right? An example would be like a person always saying that today they want to be able to follow Christ, they want to be able to obey Him and do the right thing, right? But then the next day, all of a sudden they're not doing that again. They just decide in their hearts that they don't care, they're not interested again, like they can't be, they just don't want to do it again, right? So it can change. It has the ability to change instantly like that. That's what it means by deceitfulness. That's why even in Proverbs, to be fair, it says, Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23, it says, "Guard your heart," right? "For out of it are the issues of life." Some would say out of it is that's where the decisions of life come from, right? Some different translations will say that, right? Because when you make a decision, it always comes from your heart first. An example of this is in 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7. And it says, "But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart," right? So even here it's saying that God is saying to Samuel that I don't look at people's height, people's face, countenance's face, the way people look like, or I don't even look at people's stature, right? How big or great they are. I look at people's heart, right? Because like I said before, that's where people's decisions, people's actions, people's words comes from. It comes from there. Now, in Psalms chapter 139 verse 23 to 24, it says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me, know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way of everlasting." David here is saying that, "Lord, search my heart, try me, know my thoughts, and see if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me to everlasting," right? Everlasting life. That's what he's saying. So that's the kind of prayer. That's the one way to deal with the heart, right? Is by asking God the same way David asked, the same way David prayed to God here, where he says, "Search me," is the same thing you should do. I may not know the condition of my heart, right? But God knows the condition of my heart. Because even here, David is saying that he himself, because when he says "search me," right, David himself doesn't even know, right? To search means that to look, because he himself doesn't know what condition his heart may be in. That's why he's asking God to do that. That's why I prayed with the scripture yesterday, because the condition of man and the heart of man is so deceitful that even you yourself would be deceived by your own heart. That's why it's important as well that you also ask God to purify your heart, because in Matthew chapter 5 verse 8 it says those who are pure in heart, I'm just paraphrasing, but it says those who are pure in heart shall see God. You know, that's the only way. So being pure in heart is the only way to truly see God in that scripture. That's why it's also good to ask God to purify your heart, to search your heart, and to see if there is any deceitfulness, so that on wickedness, so that you will remove it. If you like this video, like and subscribe for more, and God bless you.